Imagine a group of prisoners chained inside a dark cave, forced to look at a single stone wall. Behind them, a fire burns. When people walk past that fire, they cast flickering shadows on the wall. Having never seen anything else, the prisoners believe these distorted shapes are the entirety of existence. If one prisoner is unchained, he experiences a painful shock. He turns around and sees the fire for the first time. As he climbs a steep, rocky path toward the surface, the sunlight blinds him, but he finally sees the real world, the trees, the sky, and the sun that the shadows only hinted at. This is the allegory of the cave. Plato wrote this famous thought experiment to describe his own life. To understand his philosophy, we have to look at the man himself, Plato. He was a man of immense privilege who underwent a traumatic journey, moving from the comfort of political power into a deep, often uncomfortable search for the truth. In 428 BC, Athens was the center of the Mediterranean world, a city defined by beautiful temples and noisy political debates. Plato was born into this elite culture. He came from a family of kings and politicians and received the finest education in poetry and music, and was a champion wrestler known for his broad, powerful build. With these advantages, he expected to become a great leader, wielding political influence to help shape the future of the city. At the time, Plato believed that the pursuit of status and the noise of the political square were the ultimate realities of life. He was, in his own words, a prisoner in the cave. That worldview was shattered by a poor, barefoot old man named Socrates. He owned nothing and held no office, yet he held a strange power over the young men of the city. Socrates didn't deliver speeches or offer answers. Instead, he stopped people in the street and asked them simple, persistent questions about things they thought they understood, like goodness or courage. He spent his days proving that the most powerful generals and politicians in Athens couldn't actually define the values they claimed to represent. Plato began to follow Socrates every day, walking beside him through the streets. He listened as the world of titles and prestige began to feel thin and hollow. He began to see that the visible world of politics was just a surface, hiding a much deeper truth that could only be found by thinking carefully. This slow internal shift eventually pulled him away from his political destiny. He realized that the questions Socrates asked were more important than the power he had spent his life pursuing. By 399 BC, the leaders of Athens decided that Socrates was too disruptive to be ignored. They saw his constant questioning as a threat to the stability of the city. They brought him to trial on charges of corrupting the youth and failing to respect the traditional gods of Athens. Socrates refused to retreat or apologize. He told his judges that a life spent without questioning was not worth living. The jury sentenced him to death. Plato watched as his teacher calmly drank a cup of poisonous hemlock and died. That day, Plato learned a dark lesson. He realized that people who are comfortable in the cave will often turn violent against anyone who tries to show them the light. Devastated by the loss of his guide, Plato left the city. He could no longer live in a society that had executed its wisest citizen. He spent the next 12 years traveling through Egypt and Italy, studying with mathematicians and philosophers to understand how to build a society that valued justice over the whims of a crowd. To keep his teacher's legacy from disappearing, he began writing the dialogues, detailed records of Socrates' conversations. He wanted to make sure that the Socratic method of questioning would survive the man who invented it. By turning these oral debates into written philosophy, Plato ensured that the trial of Socrates wasn't the end of the argument. He provided a blueprint for every thinker who followed, turning a single man's life into a framework for understanding the human soul. Plato returned to Athens in 387 BC. He was now a mature philosopher, ready to train a new generation of leaders. In a quiet garden on the edge of the city, he founded the Academy. It was a space for students to study mathematics and politics together, the first true university in Western history. Plato taught his students that everything we see is like that wobbly, imperfect shadow. He believed true justice, beauty, and goodness exist as perfect ideas in a deeper realm, found only by using reason and logic to look past the shadows. The Academy was Plato's attempt to fix his city. He created a system designed to systematically move humanity away from public opinion and toward objective truth. Plato died at nearly 80 years old, having shifted the focus of human inquiry from the noise of the streets to the clarity of the mind. We still use the language he created to discuss justice and the soul. Whenever you stop to ask yourself what you truly believe, you are engaging in the work he began. Every time we pause to question our own assumptions or look for the truth behind the shadows of everyday life, we are following in the quiet footsteps of Plato.